All right, hi everybody. Hopefully you have breathed, you have focused, and you are ready to learn. Remember, when we're learning, when we're doing this work, mistakes are good. Errors are good. The errors of effort and trying and thinking. Remember too, when I ask you to take a moment to kind of close your eyes for 10 seconds and think about what you're doing, very important for your learning. And lastly, you need to get a good night's sleep. I know I'm sure I'm repeating that. I mean, that's one of the keys. That's the foundation of learning is sleeping. So like if you didn't get a good night's sleep before, it's going to be hard to retain this. If you don't get a good sleep tonight, it's going to be hard to retain all that stuff. But I repeat it because it's important. Okay, cool. I want you to take a moment, and I want you, before we go on, maybe in a math notebook, piece of paper, scratch paper, whatever, I want you to think about this unit so far and write down some things that we've done. So what are some things that we've tried to learn? You can either put some examples out or just write down what we've done. Even if you haven't mastered it yet, what have we been working on? So pause the video and then write down your list, and then I'll talk about it. All right, so hopefully you know that we've been multiplying fractions. Okay, that we've also been trying to draw them out. That we can multiply numerators and denominators, and we can also look at this, 1, 2 out of 6. All right, hopefully you remembered we've been doing some generalizations, right? We've thought about improper fractions, when they are less than 1, when things are equal to 1, and when things are greater than 1. Okay, we've been generalizing how to multiply fractions. We've been generalizing when the answer is less than 1 and when it is greater than 1. So we have two proper fractions, it's going to be less than 1. We have one number greater than 1. It's most likely going to be greater than 1, but sometimes it's not. Right, because like 1 times a half would still be a half, that'd be less than 1. But we know we're guaranteed less than 1 when they're both proper. And then we start getting over 1 when we have definitely two numbers, 1 or above. Stuff like that. So now where are we headed? We are headed to this. We want to be able to divide whole numbers by unit fractions. So remember that unit fraction that has a 1 in it. Okay, so we're not doing any other fractions besides unit fractions. So we want to be able to take a whole number and divide it by a unit fraction. And we want to be able to take a unit fraction and divide it by a whole number. Now, why? Why this? Why do we have to do both? Because remember, it's division. So if I was looking at multiplication, I said 6 times 2 and 2 times 6, that's the same. If I'm looking at division, 6 divided by 2 and 2 divided by 6, those are completely different. Right? If we think about this in terms of a fraction, this is 6 over 2, and this is 2 over 6. Really, really different. This is 3, this is 1/3. Right? That's a big difference. Big difference. About 10 times different. So that's where we're headed. And we're wanting to be able to do this in word problems. And we're going to want to be able to understand visually what that looks like. So that's a lot of different what we call milestones. All right. We're going to start with this idea of division combinations, either grouping or sharing. And today we're going to be looking at this idea of taking a whole number and dividing it by a unit fraction. So buckle up. Make sure you're focused and ready. I would say this. I'm going to be very honest with you. If you didn't get a good night's sleep and you're not alert and you're not ready, I wouldn't even do this work. I would take a nap. You could go, I'll put an NSDR. You want to do 10 minutes of that to kind of calm yourself down and rest a little bit? Please do. That's how important this stuff is, and I'll reiterate that before. Okay? All right, so we're looking at some division combinations, and we're thinking about sharing and grouping. The first one I'm just going to do for you. Follow along, take some notes, so you have that as an example. And then from there, we're going to pause and keep going, okay? All right, so hopefully we know at this point 6 divided by 3 is 2, right? That should be something that we all know. And let's think about sharing problems. So sharing means that I have my number here, my dividend, and I'm going to share it by the divisor. What does that mean? So I have 6 cookies. I'm going to share them, compartir, equally with 3 friends. How many cookies? does each friend get? Oops. Well, you get it. Each friend get. I need to slow down. I told Lorenzo I have this problem, and I do like trying to fit everything in. I'll have to be smaller. I'll do that better next time. All right. So again, I have this group of cookies, and I'm going to separate. I'm going to share them. All right. So one for you, 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 one for you. Duh, you each have 2. Now there's this idea of grouping. So same thing. So 6 cookies. Okay. I'm going to group them equally into 3 bags. Wait, no. No, that's sharing them, grouping them. I need to group them by 3. I want to put 3 in each bag. Wait, see, this is confusing. This is why we do this, because it is confusing. So I'm going to put them into bags of 3. There we go. So I'm grouping them, right? I'm taking my cookies and I'm saying I'm going to take 3 cookies and put them in a bag. I'm going to take another 3 cookies and put them in a bag. How many bags do I have? Bags do I need? All right, so both are 2, right? Okay, each kid gets 2 cookies. I need 2 bags. It's 2 different ways to look at it. And this is important because as we keep moving along on these, you're going to notice when we get to fractions, when we get to that unit fraction, we can only do it one way. Okay, we can only do it one way. So this is why we're thinking about this. So go ahead, do 6 divided by 2, try and think of a sharing problem, try and think of a grouping problem, and then watch the next video.